Welcome to another edition of Tech Tuesday, brought to you by Delta Media Group, where we think that maybe somebody could put baby in a corner, right? I mean, we don't like to deal in absolutes. So, today, we're going to get into the system. We're going to go over seller reports. Now, if anybody saw yesterday's Unlocking Your Potential video, you'll see that we went over kind of the value of, or not seller reports, man, it's early, saved searches. So yesterday we went over saved searches and My Home Finder reports, and basically showed you the value of those and how you can demonstrate your value as a real estate agent to any prospective buyers or sellers. So now let's jump into the DeltaNet and see how we can set these up. So I'm on the welcome page to start off with, and actually real quick I'm going to jump over to the public website, because the first thing is that a customer can set these up for themselves. So if they want to save a search, they can just go to your website, they can type in the area that they want to search for, or they can get to the search any other way. If you have links set up to certain areas, or if you have this property search link under buyers, they can go over to map search, or however you have linked to your search on your site. But once they run their search, it'll take them here, and in many cases it'll pop up a soft offer at this point asking them if they want to save a search. If it doesn't, or if you have that turned off, they can just click this heart up here at the top, and that prompts up this this box here where they can save this search. So right now I'm not logged in, so it would give me the option of creating an account here. If I have an account already, I can sign into it and then just hit login, or in this case sign all this up, hit continue, and then it will save my search for me. So at that point the system will keep an eye out for any new listings that match whatever my search criteria was, and when they come up it'll send me an email. So this is one way that customers can go in and set them up for themselves. But we suggest, even if they do, it's not a bad idea for you to go in and go into the DeltaNet, go into their customer account, and actually save a search for them. And the idea is that you're the market expert, you know the area, and from speaking with them, you have a good handle on what it is they're looking for. And you are closer to the properties in general that they are. You can talk to the other agents and work out what property is going to be the best fit for them, and then tailor a search specifically for them that's going to be more finely tuned than the one they would often set up for themselves. So to set those up, we're going to scroll down here to Customers and go to Customer Center. And now we can see our hot new customers and everything here, but in this case I'm going to scroll down to my customer detailed list, and let's say I'm looking for a specific person who I don't know the name of. There we go. And by typing in their name, it narrows my list down to just people with matching names. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the name that I want to create a search for. You can see this is their profile page here. So now we'll scroll down to the Save Searches and Market Watch Report section. We can see in this case, this customer already has a Market Watch set up, but we're going to go ahead and add a saved search. So add a saved search. Now it takes us over here to the property search page in the DeltaNet, where we can define out how we want to define what area they're looking for. So just like the front end search, we can do this by radius, area, or by market. If I do area, it lets me draw a polygon, so I'll click on that. You can see if I can click on here and get my polygon. And then I can readjust the size of this however I want to. Or go back down here, add a saved search. Now we can also define this by radius. And radius is particularly nice if, say they're looking for a property within, say 5 miles of where they work. You could type in the address of where they work here, and that would recenter the map on that address. And then you could take this little dot and just put it on the center that it found when you recentered it. And then grab our arrows out here and set the radius to whatever we want. So there we go. It's going to be tough to get it on exactly 5 miles, but we're going to try 4.97. How did I make it smaller? Anyway, so you just go through there, set the radius to what you want, click on Next, and then that'll save this radius. So that'll be the area defined by your search. And then lastly, we can do it by market name. So we'll go down here, back to Add a Saved Search. And this time by market, you can see it pops up our little locations box here. And we'll go ahead and do Akron, because why not? And there we go. So you can see when I select that area, it automatically selects the matching listings down below. Now from here, I have all these options at my disposal where I can further narrow down what I'm looking for. So let's say I'm looking for only single family, which we're using test data here, so it narrowed it down pretty far. Normally you would have a lot more results. And you can see all these same options that are available on the front end are available in here. So price range, beds, baths, square feet, garages, number of stories, anything like that. Additional filter options in here. Again, it's all the same stuff that's available on the front side. And then you also have a search summary here where it'll give you some information about your selections before. So if you were creating a really well-defined search, like you have beds and baths and price range and all that stuff to find out, this will actually list out everything you've defined. So that can be kind of handy in that you can easily and quickly see all the criteria you've specified here. And then lastly, you have this select box here. Right now there's nothing there, but what you can do is you can create presets, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So there's one option you're not seeing here, and that's because we're operating on test data, but when this search system is connected to your MLS, there will be an additional drop-down that actually shows you options specific to that MLS. So it'll have the name of the MLS up here at the top, and you click on it, and then it'll open up a drop-down menu that lets you select specific options from your MLS. So it really allows you to fine-tune these searches for exactly what the customer is looking for. Once you're all set, you click on Save Search Settings. This lets you determine what the name of the search is first off, which helps your customer differentiate them and also helps you differentiate them from any other searches that might be saved. You can turn email notifications on or off, and what that'll do is, with that turned on, every time this runs and finds new listings, it'll email the customer. What you can do is you can turn this off and just let the customer know that you saved a search for them, and then they can log into their account on your public site and they can go in and they can see the results of that search without actually getting emailed the notices. So it just depends on how much you're emailing them and whether or not you want it to send out those notifications as well. So most of the time you'll want to send them out, but know that you have the option of choosing. So we can turn that on or off. With it turned on, we get the option of selecting how often we want the search to run. So by default every 2 days, but you can actually run this all the way down to instantly. So as soon as a new listing comes on the market, this is going to run and find that new listing and send them an email right away. So that is a particularly handy one. You can choose whether or not this will include open houses. So what it'll also do if you have this turned on is it'll send an open house email once a week. So if it doesn't find any, or even if it does, I think it's Thursdays actually. So if it doesn't find any new listings that match the search criteria, if there are open houses that match that criteria, it'll send out that email as well. And then you can also go here, click on Send Search Results Now, type in a message, and what that'll do is you can bring up your initial search result set and then fire off an email to the customer that has all these results in it. So that way it's not just sending the new results. If you don't do that, then they won't get this initial set. They'll just get an email every time any new listing comes on the market. So for example, if I run this search now and I get 10 listings, and I choose not to send it now, when a new listing comes on the market, say tomorrow, and this runs, the only listing that's going to go to the customer is the new one. That initial result set's not going to go to them. So generally, you'll want to check this box, and you can put in a little custom message if you want to, and then hit Save Search and Send Results, and it'll fire off an email that has all these results in it, along with your custom message. In fact, I'll go ahead and click it, and there we go. So it tells you that it was sent to the customer and takes you back to their profile page. So that's all there is to it. I mean, that's how you go in and you can set up saved searches for all your customers. Now, if you want to take a look at the way you can set up custom search filters, we're going to go here to Listings and down to Property Search. And this takes us to that same search page. Now from here, we're going to have a lot with no pictures, but we'll have a bunch of listings to look at. So from here, you can go directly to the search, and now you're not attached to a customer, you're not creating a saved search for a customer. All you're doing is running a search through the DeltaNet. So you can see we have our properties here. We can define these just the same way, so we narrow them down again by property type or any of the other regular search status in here, or search criteria in here. We'll go with the old tried and true 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. There we go, same filter options there. And now under search summary, you can see that we can actually name this search template, My Search, and hit Save. And now what it's going to do is it doesn't save the location. All it saves is the criteria. The idea is that every time you're setting up a saved search for someone, you're going to define different locations for each one based on the areas they're interested in. But what might be very common is, say, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2,000 square feet. Like if that's something that you find yourself putting in all the time, you can create this, and then when you select it, you can see that it automatically filled in everything I had selected. So residential, single family, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So now every time I go in and create a saved search, I'll be able to just select that set of filters instead of entering them all by hand each time. So there you go. So, as always, thanks a lot for joining me this week. If you have any questions on saved searches or anything else in the DeltaNet or in the public sites or out in the wide world, feel free to give us a call or email us at support@deltagroup.com or comment on any of our videos on either Facebook or YouTube. So, thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you again next week.